Yo, what up guys, this is your boy Legendary here, and today people, we're going to be talking about some new cards that just came out from the collection pack 2020. We finally got all of Don Thousand's, or not all of them, but most of Don Thousand's cards revealed today, so let's just hop right into it and get into it. These cards are going to be extremely busted, so once again, I'm going to review them in a specific order so you understand how the combos work. It's a very simple overall combo, but it is what it is. So it's very broken card. So first up, we have the first monster called Murong Wall. It's a Dark Fiend, level 1, 0 attack, 0 defense. Its effect reads, if you control no cards, or the only card or cards you control is Murong Wall, quick effect, you can send this card from your hand or field to the graveyard. Activate one Numeron network from your hand or deck. You can only use the effect of Murong Wall once per turn. When you take battle damage, you can special summon this card from your hand, and if you do, end the battle phase after the damage step. So yeah, this card is really strong because you just get to discard it to search your field spell, and the field spell is broken. That's the next card we're going to talk about. But the field spell is really strong along with everything else. These cards by themselves are like good, but when you look at them all together, they're just like amazing. They're just broken even. But yeah, so this is really insane. This is just a good card. They added the whole search thing, which it didn't have that in the anime. And the anime just had the second effect, and that was it. But now they gave it the first effect, so you could instantly search it out. So that's really good. Unfortunately, this is the only main deck monster that he used in the show, so there probably won't be any other Numeron monsters. So building his deck is pretty much impossible, to be honest. Even with them making these cards, we could probably make a duel with them, but we can't make a full deck with it because there's nothing you can really do. I would have to be really creative, but I don't know how that's possible. But anyway, that's Murong Wall. Very good card, very good start. Next up, we got the field spell Numeron Network. You could send one Numeron normal spell card that meets its activation conditions from your deck to the graveyard. This effect becomes that spell's effect when that card is activated. You can only use this effect in Numeron Network once per turn. You can only activate the effects of Numeron Xyz monsters you control without detaching material. So really powerful card right there, because you could send any Numeron normal spell card, that's the next card we're going to review, you could send that card to the graveyard to activate its effect right away from the deck, which is really cool. And then on top of that, all your Numeron Xyz monsters don't need to detach materials to activate their effects, which is really stupid. It's really busted. But yeah, so we're just gonna get into the spell card, because the spell card is what makes the field spell broken. So we got Numeral Calling. So for Numeral Calling, it's a normal spell card. If Numeron Network is on your field zone and you control no monsters, special summon up to 4 Numeron Gate Xyz monsters from your extra deck with different names, but banish them during the end phase, and you can only normal or special summon once for the rest of this turn. So that's why the field spell is busted, because you could send this card directly from your deck to the graveyard and then special summon up to 4 Numeron Gate Xyz monsters with different names from your deck. So that's good. So literally the 4 that we're about to talk about, you could just special summon straight from your extra deck. And now you guys already know that with the field spell, you don't even need to detach to activate their effects. Yes, they get banished during the end phase, but that's not going to matter once you guys see what the monsters do and how they all work together. But yeah, it is what it is. So Numeron Calling, really busted. It all works together. Numeron Wall goes into Numeron Network goes into Numeron Calling, and then you summon 4 Xyz monsters. So now we're just going to hop into the Xyz monsters. So first up, we got number 1 Numeron Gate Ekem. Then we have number 2 Numeron Gate Dive or Div. I don't know how to say that. Then we have number 3 Numeron Gate Trini. And then we have number 4 Numeron Gate Kadvari. So the reason why I skipped over all these cards is because they all have the same exact stats and effects. Literally, all 4 of them have the same effect and stats. They're all Dark Xyz machine type monsters. They're rank 1, 1000 attack, 100 defense, all of them. And then they all take 3 level 1 monsters to summon, and their effect is cannot be destroyed by battle. At the end of the damage step, if this card battled an opponent's monster, you could detach 1 Xyz material from this card. Double the attack of all Numeron monsters you currently control until the end of this turn. So since they all have the same effect, they all can do that. And the field spell makes it so that you don't have to detach anything, so you can just activate it. So basically, since they all have 1000 attack, if you activate number 1's effect, they all become 2000. If you activate number 2's effect, then they all double again. If you activate number 3's effect, they double again. Activate number 4, they double again. So essentially, altogether, if you keep doubling So let me do some calculations. Basically, they all become 16,000 attack points because they all double, and it doesn't double the original attack, it just doubles their attack. So they all go up to 16,000 after you're done activating all their effects. So that's really busted. Like literally, you get 4 Xyz monsters with 16,000 attack points, which is just ridiculous if you do it that way. So yeah, that's the Numeron Gate monsters. They're just all, they can't be destroyed by battle, and they just keep doubling. Obviously during the end phase they're going to get banished, but maybe you'll be able to OTK without having to do anything, because it's 16,000 attack points. I mean, they have no protection, so that is what it is. But if your opponent has nothing to stop you, you're dead that turn with just this one combo move right here. But yeah, and then the final monster is going to be the Chaos version of number 1. So we have Chaos number 1, Numeron Chaos Gate Sunya. So this is a Dark Xyz machine type monster, level 2, 2,000 attack and 1,000 defense. It requires 4 level 2 monsters, but you're not going to need that because its effect is you can Xyz summon this card by using number 1 Numeron Gate Echem you control as material. Transfer its materials to this card. If this card is Xyz summoned, banish all monsters on the field. Once per turn during your next standby phase. After this card was banished, you can special summon this card. Then, if Numeron Network is in your field zone, inflict damage to your opponent equal to the combined attack of all banished Xyz monsters. So, really busted right there. So essentially, you have 2 ways. Well, actually, you have 1 way. So you summon your numbers 1 through 4, and then you go up to 16,000. You do some damage, and then during your main phase 2, you could rank up essentially number 1 to summon Chaos Gate Sunya. And then as soon as it's Xyz summoned, all of them get banished. And then during your next standby phase, after this card is banished, you can special summon this card back to the field and inflict damage to your opponent equal to the combined attack of all banished Xyz monsters. So you multiply the 3 number monsters, since they all have 16,000 times 3 equals 48,000, and then you add 2,000 to that because of the Chaos monster, and that equals 50,000. So there would be 50,000 burn damage during the next standby phase if you live, that you would do with this whole combo if you're able to get off the 5 attacks from the monsters and then Chaos summon it during your main phase 2, and then banish them all, so that way you do 50,000 burn damage during the next turn. Which is insane. That's ridiculous. I think I did the math right. If I did the math wrong, you guys correct me in the comment section below. I redid it a few times. I feel like I got it right. So if you're not able to OTK your opponent with all 4 of these monsters, then it doesn't really matter, because all you have to do is just banish all of them during your main phase 2 after getting all of them up to 16,000, and then you just do massive burn. So yeah, it's pretty insane. So if you could just find a way to protect those Xyz monsters from being destroyed by your opponent's card effects for that turn, and just let them be banished during the main phase 2, then you're good, then you're set. But yeah, so that's pretty much it for reviewing all of Don Thousand's cards. I am really shocked that they made all his cards, but they did. Well, actually, they're still missing, I think, 2 more cards. The big final boss monsters, the Chaos number 1000 and number 1000, I think it's what it is. Or yeah, so those cards haven't been made yet. I don't know what else hasn't been made, but those are the last 2 cards that are yet to be revealed, because I believe it's 10 support cards for Don Thousand, like it was 10 support cards for Jim Crocodile Cook. So we'll see if the other 2 come out or not. But yeah, those are his support cards. They're really busted, really strong. You can't really finish his deck even if you add copies of all these, because yeah, he got a bunch of new cards, but most of them are Xyz, so they're extra deck monsters. So you can't even build a 40 card deck, because he only has, what, 2 spells and 1 monster, and that's it. You can't really build a full deck from that. But we could do a duel with it where we just add random cards, but we don't use them, and we only use the cards that are used here. But it's going to be a very boring kind of like, it's going to be a very one-shot type of duel. It's not going to be very like back and forth, because there's not too much he can do, because he only dueled once, and he only did this combo plus maybe like 1 or 2 other things. But it is what it is, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed these new cards. They're really busted, really strong by themselves. In combination, they're all extremely broken. If you could just find a way to protect them, then you're good. Or find a way for your opponent to not use any back row or anything, then you're set. But yeah, just use like just use Hey Trunade or something. Get rid of the back row and try to negate monster effects or something. I don't know. But anyway, guys, hope you guys enjoyed. Thank you guys for watching. God bless you guys. See you guys in the next video. Gotcha.